The scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. On the return is Cohen. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there, and right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Fields throw complete there to the cloud.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a give running right is Montgomery. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running left, Montgomery. A great move by Montgomery. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Now Fields.
And this is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down.
Now it's Fields.
Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But, hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Bears, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
We got 4. Switch it.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. He's just got to be thinking, I hope that's not a harbinger of things to come. Very first pass of the afternoon picked.
And where do you go from here? Because when you start that way, Do you allow that to seep into you and stay with you the rest of the game, or do you find a way out of it?
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Santos with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Game maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Throwing, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10.
Now Jones. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Now, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Here's second and 10. One play action. Fields.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Deep ball for Goodwin. It got his man, complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Marquise Goodwin, 87 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
A short kick taken at the 18.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball, trying to get things settled down a little bit. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Jones. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Touchdown, Giants! Evan Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
To throw is Fields.
And that's incomplete.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to.
And he fires one that's intercepted. picked off near the 42. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. Gano the extra point, and this is back to a 5-point game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Jones now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Kenny Galladay, 26 yards. And the Giants have taken the lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 2. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Fields. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Nice swanner on a punt now on 4th down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. From the 22, Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's fielded at the 45. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Montgomery might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a give running left with Montgomery. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Dexter Lawrence. He's the culprit. Causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Jones to throw on 3rd down.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Cohen. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Off play action, Fields.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we've reached halftime. To catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Looking to throw. Fields. Throw left side, complete to McLeod. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
First down. It's Montgomery. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd down and 4.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a gain of a yard.